Hi, Assalamualaikum guys. Financial consultant Helmi Hakim here from Singapore. Okay, right now I am in Santorini. Alright. Today I'm going to share with you something that I've been using or I've been practicing in my business for me to look likable. Eh? Because why? Because in sales, right, or in business, for you to attract your clients, you need to be likable, and people need to like you. If people don't like you, no matter what of qualifications or what type of credibility you have, you cannot convert them to be your customers. All right. So in this video sharing, I'm recording live now from my hotel room. Okay, the backdrop here is Santorini. Get back to the topic: 6 Traits Likeability by Robert Cialdini. There are 6 altogether, and the first thing, right, or the first trait, for you to ensure that yourself is being likable by many people is this thing called physical attractiveness. When you look fit, when you look energetic, when you look good, people tend to attribute positive attributes to yourself. And there's this thing called halo effect. Halo effect means what? Means if you look good and you look pleasant, you always exercise, you keep yourself fit, people tend to associate good values. People think, this guy must be really good. He must be really competent. He must be someone who managed to manage his own time carefully, and I can trust him and with my my planning. Then he's the guy, right? Whereas if you look bad, fat, sloppy, they tend to associate negative attributes to you. All right, I'm not too sure this guy is the right person for me to engage his or her services, and just by looking at the looks. All right, this concept is called halo effect, and the first trait of likability is physical attractiveness. All right, physical attractiveness. Okay, the second way for you to ensure that you appears likable is to give compliments. And give sincere compliments. If you see someone or your friend, okay, having a new piece of shirt, and they can just say, "Hey, very nice lah your shirt." Give sincere compliments. Where do you get it? Or maybe you see your friend, right, or any of your acquaintance, right, having a good haircut, right? Then you can comment, you can give sincere compliments to your friends. Say, "Hey, wow, your haircut this time around, or your hairstyle this time around looks very good lah. Suitable for you. You look super young, like 10 years younger than your original age." And give sincere compliments, right? And the third way, for you to appear likable to your friends or to your clients, is this concept called cooperation. For those of you who just tuned in, right, what I'm sharing with you is Robert Cialdini's 6 traits of likability. And why I need to share this, right? Because in business, for you to attract your clients, you need to ensure that they like you. No point if you have good products, you have good, superb, or maybe the best product or the best kind of service in the world, but people don't like you, they won't engage your service. So right now what I'm sharing with you is that I'm sharing with you Robert Cialdini's 6 traits of likability, and to ensure that people like you. The third trait, right, is this thing called cooperation. And let me just have a read here. Alright, so personally what I'm doing, right, in Helmi Hakim Facebook page, or in one of my fintech initiative, takaful.sg, or my website, www.helmihakim.com, is that I'm creating a community. A community of people who wants to plan their finance the Sharia compliant way in Singapore. I'm creating a community of people who wants to plan their finance the Sharia compliant way in Singapore, and a community of those people who wants to buka dia, who wants my breakfast is coming lah, and later I'll just bring this video to my breakfast area. Right? So I'm creating a community of people who basically want to do two things. They want to learn how to clear their riba-based loans in Singapore, and at the same time, they want to learn how to save, accumulate, and grow their money the Sharia compliant way in Singapore. Alright, so this group of people, right, we create a community, a form of cooperation, and how do? We do it through the cooperative movement, right? So naturally people who have the same objective as me, as myself, we want to clear our riba-based loans in Singapore. They want to learn how to save, accumulate, and grow their money the Sharia compliant way in Singapore. They will tend to like us more. Right? Because what? Because there's a form of cooperation of like-minded individuals, people. All right. Okay. So again, that's number 3 lah. The first one is for you to give compliments. If you want people to like you, give sincere compliments. The second one is physical attractiveness. Make sure you keep yourself fit, energetic, looks good lah. Because if you look sloppy, fat, that kind of thing, people tend to associate and negative attribute to yourself, and people won't like you that much lah. Right? They call it the halo effect. And the third one I mentioned to you is the principle of cooperation. They try to create a community of people with the same objective. Right? This will increase your likability factor. Okay. The fourth one is this concept called familiarity. As salespeople, right, or as business people, right, when you communicate with your clients, try to use terms that people know. Right? In example, Islamic finance. Right? In Islamic finance, there's a lot of Arabic jargons lah. I give you an example. Like example, mudarabah. Example like musyarakah. And some people, they get a bit afraid lah when they hear all these Arabic Islamic jargons lah. Right? They get scared, they get intimidated. So how do I, as a financial consultant that specializes in helping Muslim families plan their finance the Sharia compliant way in Singapore, and bridge the gap between me and my clients who might not know much about Islamic finance? What I do is that I introduce concept that is so familiar for them. And so what are the examples, right? So in Islamic finance, it's a common knowledge that people know that bonds is not allowed. Bonds is a type of debt instrument. It's a type of IOU instrument, and bonds is not allowed in Islamic finance. Right? This is common knowledge. All right, and yeah. So, however, some people, they don't even know what is bonds, what is equities, right? Because they are not in they never keep themselves abreast of the financial markets, right? Particularly in Singapore, or they don't know anything about finance, lah. Right? So how do I bridge the gap? How do I make sure they like me lah? Not they look at me, oh okay lah, Helmi know so much lah. But then I think I cannot connect with him that well lah. So how I do it? I introduce concepts. I introduce familiarity in my introduction of concepts. So what I do is that I always share with them this story. So example, today I'm a business person. I want to set up a chicken rice stall in Tampines. We always meet at our office in Tampines. Alhamdulillah, my business is so successful that a lot of people queue to buy my chicken rice every single day. A lot of people queue to buy my chicken rice every single day. As a business person, right, I set up one chicken rice stall, and it is so successful. What I want to do next is I want to open up more stalls selling chicken rice. Right, that's the logic. One stall in Tampines, so successful, right? As a business person, what I want to do is that I want to set up more stalls selling chicken rice. And the first methodology is through bonds. So how do bonds work? I approach you. I tell you lah, now I have a chicken rice stall in Tampines. I want to expand my business. I want to open a stall in Ang Mo Kio, in Punggol, in Pasir Ris, in Jurong West. I ask them, where do you stay? Woodlands. In Woodlands, right? All these concepts are familiar concept. It's familiarity. They think, oh, okay, I know all these places. Familiar concept. All right. So what happens that, okay, now I can connect already. At first just now you throw me all the financial jargons I don't understand, but now I'm start to feel familiar with you. I start to like you more because you share with me something that I know. So you want to set a stall, chicken rice stall at more places. All right, and then what happened? And then so people say, okay, now I can connect with you. The likability factor from 5 increase suddenly to 8, 9. Right, because they are familiar with my sharing. So I want to open a more stall selling chicken rice, and I don't have enough money. So what I do, I become a bond issuer. I approach people like yourself. I tell you, you give me $100,000, right? You give me $100,000. Then every quarter, every half year, or every year, I'll give you money. Alright, the money is called what? The money is called coupons. From a non-Sharia compliant perspective, people love bonds. Because why? Bonds give coupons. But then from a Sharia compliant perspective, not possible lah. Because why? Because the coupons that you're getting is also deemed as interest, and that is not as riba. Right? So that's how I actually explain the concept of bonds itself, right? You can go the technical way on how to explain the concept of bonds, but I'm going a very simple way. And of course, then I go on further. So people ask me, so I cannot set up chicken rice stall using bonds to attract money through bonds. So what's the methodology? How can I make it Sharia compliant? How can I make it halal? Right? So this I introduce them. And a second concept, what I do is that I tell them, again, I want to set up a business, or I want to set up a stall. Someone Mondol, okay, I am in Santorini. I'm from Singapore, but I'm now in Santorini for my holidays. Alright, again, so back to the topic earlier. Again, I want to expand my business. I want to set up more stalls selling chicken rice, and perhaps one now in Woodlands, and I don't have enough money. Want to attract money through bonds? Not permissible under Islamic finance perspective, right? Want to attract money through conventional bonds? It is not permissible under Islamic finance perspective. So how do I do it? Alright, again, I approach you and I personally invite you to become my business partner. I invite you to become my business partner. And I told you, I share with you. Alright, I told you that, I want to, morning. Alright, okay, and I invite you to become my business partner. Susanna wants, thank you for the thumbs up. Okay, Someone Mondo, thank you. Alright, so back to the topic earlier. Okay, I want to set up more stalls selling chicken rice, and through bonds it's not permissible. So what I do is that I meet up with you, I invite you to become my business partner. And this time round, I tell you, okay, where do you stay? Woodlands. I want to set up a stall in Woodlands. I want to set up a chicken rice stall in Woodlands, but I don't have enough money, and I want to personally invite you to become my business partner. Alright, and I will share with you all my trade secret, how to cook delicious chicken rice. I will share with you how to manage the stuff, everything I will share with you. Right? And you agree to become my business partner. So what happened right now is that we have a profit and loss sharing agreement. Right? Profit, you take higher share because you run the stall, right? You take 70% and I take 30%. And the loss, we have some kind of agreement also, usually via percentage of capital contribution. Under Islamic finance perspective, this is permissible, can be done. The concept is called musyarakah. Musyarakah means partnership. Second example. Now the third example, how to make it Sharia compliant. Want to set up more stalls selling chicken rice, but attract money through bonds, not permissible. Second way, through partnership, permissible. Is there a third way? Yes, of course. So again, back to the concept of traits of likability and familiarity, I need to ensure that the clients and or the people whom I met understand whatever I share. By introducing familiar concepts, I need to make sure that they like me. They don't see me like, Helmi knows so much about finance lah, but I cannot connect with him lah, too technical lah, that kind of thing. So by introducing examples that people can take notice of, right? So what I want to do here is that I want to open up a stall selling chicken rice at your hometown in Woodlands, but not enough money. And I invite you to become my business partner. But this time around, you decline my offer. Say, what me? You want me to cook chicken rice near my hometown? Cannot lah, Helmi. I have a full-time job to run. Where got time to cook chicken rice? Alright? And but then we take a look again at their offer. I think there's some potential. I see potential in your business. And instead of become your partner, I want to be your investor. So I ask you, how much you want to invest in? So you tell me you want to invest $50,000. Fine, we have an agreement again. And profit and loss sharing agreement, right? So profit wise, I take a higher share lah, because I get my guys to run the store, right? So I take 70%, you take 30%. However, your loss is limited to the amount that you invest in. Right? How much you invest in? 50,000, right? Doesn't matter if your loss is, if our loss, right, in that new business venture in Woodlands, example, is like 100,000, 150,000, $200,000, your loss is limited to the principal that you invest in, $50,000. And that is permissible under Islamic finance perspective. The concept is called mudarabah. And so the first way, through attract money through bonds, not permissible. The second way, through partnership, known as musharaka, it is permissible. And the third way, through investment, also known as mudarabah, it is permissible. Okay, I think my explanation is a bit lengthy just now, right? If you want to know more, right, what you can do, right, you can go to my website lah. My website www.takaful.sg. Again, you can schedule a free your financial map session. I go in greater detail in terms of planning your finance the Sharia compliant way in Singapore. Right? I cannot cover that much lah. If I were to do live video right now and share everything that I know, I think it'll take about 7-8 hours of time consuming lectures. And what I want you to share right now is just small bit size lah. But there's too many things to share. Alright. So again, alright, I shared earlier, give compliments, physical attractiveness, principle of cooperation, familiarity, and now the fifth one, the fifth traits of likability, by Robert Cialdini, is this concept called similarity. Similarity, alright. People like people who are kind of similar. You know, in my job as a financial consultant, I have some people ask me, what's your client's profile? I have everyone. To be my client. I have lawyers, I have teachers, I have business people, I have normal people, palm attendant, dishwasher. I have everyone. Alright, and some of them are not even my client as yet also, but I'm very confident they will be my client soon. And because why? Because as of now they have huge debts, right? So the thing here is that how I want to like build likability, trust between me and all my clients, right? So example, recently I met someone who has a loan of credit card debt of $50,000. Stress. I said, well, you know, this is like the world going to end. They told me, the couple tell me got $50,000 of debt. We don't know what to do right now. And Kanchong, Helmi, are you the right person for me to approach for help or not? That kind of thing. So how do I reach the trust? I told them, come on lah, every single week, confirm. I meet a lot of people who have credit card debts. 30,000, 50,000, 100,000. The last one I met, they have $200,000 of credit card debts. They got shocked. Really? Yes, precisely. Alright? Or again, how do I want to create the concept of similarity? Some people told me, Helmi, I want to learn how to clear my riba-based loans in Singapore. But then that's something like a bit like not skeptical, but really no, Singapore can clear riba-based loans in Singapore. You sure or not? We can do that. My friends say, darurat, no choice, have to take the loan for 25, 30 years or for the rest of our life. And we cannot get rid from riba in a country like Singapore. Is it true or not? So how I want to bridge that gap? Then I told them, Me myself, I target to clear my housing loan by end of this year, inshallah. And make dua for me. I clear my housing loan by end of this year. Alright? And it's not just me. I mean, a lot of other people who have cleared their HDB loan in their 30s. Right? They have cleared. They make a conscious decision early in their life to clear their housing loan early. They want to be debt-free early. Alright? So this is just how a classic example on how I use Robert Cialdini, a concept of similarity. So for those people who come with me and they are very skeptical whether really or not they can clear their riba-based loan, I share a lot of examples. And all these people who clear their riba-based loans, they are not like business people with millions of dollars, of salary, they kind of thing. No, they're just normal individuals, people like you and me, people who have regular jobs and just make a commitment to set aside a part of our pay and to save up money, accumulate, and clear all our riba-based loans in Singapore. It is the decision that is needed. In life, you need to make a decision. Once you make a decision, you need to stick with it. All right. And the last one, my breakfast is is there already lah. So I need to wrap up as quickly as possible. All right. The last one, the 6 traits of likability by Robert Cialdini, and the last one is this thing called the principles of association. How you want to make people like you more. And through the principles of association. Alhamdulillah, last year I managed to achieve for the first time in my 10 years of being a financial planner, it is the first time I achieved my first $1 million round table. And this is a super powerful principles of association. Because why? The $1 million roundtable represent the top 5% financial consultants in the whole world. Alhamdulillah. To me, this is a blessing. And not only that, right? Last week, if you were to read Straits Times, right, you might have realized that I'm the top 3 financial consultants in NTUC income for investment-linked and financial instruments. This is a very powerful association, Do you want to know why not? Do you know, for the past 10 years, I've been meeting a lot of people who told me that Singapore, it is impossible to plan your finance the Sharia compliant way. It is possible in Malaysia, in Indonesia, in Bangladesh, in India, in Gulf countries, but not possible in Singapore. Okay, wait, pleasant hijab sambil just read Kenapa masih ada orang yang dah lanjut usia masih mahu sanggup bayar house loan bulanan walau ada banyak cara untuk elak hutang? Ni kadang-kadang ni, okay, I will communicate in English lah sometimes, due to financial circumstances, right, they face difficulties lah to actually clear their loans early or even at the juncture of age 55 or 60 years old. I'm answering pleasant hijabs questions. Yes, I do agree with that. But I'm highly confident if you plan early in your life, right, you make a personal commitment, right, to clear your riba-based loans in Singapore, you will be able to do it. That's why I set up this website called takaful.sg. I give you example based on your based on this example. Okay, yes, you can share Ika Satika. Please share, please share. Because the more you share, the more people will benefit from my sharing. Okay, so I give you example. Okay, so some people ask me this question, Helmi, now Singapore house, right, I want to buy a house. Is there any Sharia compliant way for me to buy a house? This is a very common question, right? So what I share, right? What I share is that Singapore, there's no Sharia compliant home financing facility. What are the examples? And the example is like murah bahar financing, or musyarakah mutanakisah, also known as diminishing musyarakah. Or the third one is ijarah wa iktinab, or ijarah muntahiyah bitamlik. And these are examples of Sharia compliant home financing facilities. It's available in Malaysia. It's available in Indonesia, or available even in Sri Lanka. Recently I had one client for Sri Lanka, right? Available in Sri Lanka, or even Sri Lanka. I used to used to think that Sri Lanka is a Muslim country. No, Sri Lanka also have a minority Muslim population in that country, but they managed to have a Sharia compliant home financing facility in that country. But that's for a different topic, right? And even Sharia compliant home financing facility is available in Australia, but again, not available in Singapore. Murabahah financing facility is available in Australia, but not available in Singapore, right? So in Singapore, there's no Sharia compliant home financing facility. There's none, really. Right? There's none. And so that's why it's darurat lah, for us to take all those conventional loans in Singapore. If you talk about HDB loans, yes, and the 2.6% is riba. If you talk about bank loans, which is pegged to SIBOR, yeah, that's riba itself, right? So my own personal advice is that what we can do is that, yeah, we have to take all this loans because we need a roof over our head. Definitely, that's for sure. But we need to make a personal commitment early in our life, and for us to istiqamah, to consistently try our level best to clear our loans, and by understanding how all those loan works. They work based on a declining balance basis. Example, after you buy a house, you pay 10% down payment, your outstanding amount is $200,000. Right? So your riba payable is 2.6% times $200,000. 10 years down the road, and you manage to reduce your $200,000 to $150,000. The riba payable is 2.6% times $150,000. But if you manage to reduce from the $150,000 to example $50,000, your riba payable is 2.6% times $50,000. But if you manage to clear everything, you no longer need to pay a single cent of riba. Can you understand me or not? Just now who asked me the question? If you can understand, comment lah. Can understand. Alright. Yeah, if you can understand, comment. Help me understand. At least I know lah. There's some people who follow our Facebook live video and not like show sendiri, that kind, right? Again, I got more things to share lah, but I see like no comment like that, so I think I will just move on lah, because why, I'm so hungry. If you want to understand more about this type of concept or what, you just go to my website lah, www.takaful.sg. Right? I will only share more if there are more comments lah, but since there's not many comments, so I think there's not many people who want to know lah, on how to clear their riba-based loans in Singapore, so I won't share much lah, as of now. Okay, so back to the topic again, 6 traits of likability. Okay, the last one is principles of association. How does this work? Right? Again, just like I mentioned to you earlier. Again, thank you, Pleasant Hijab. At least I'm aware you viewing my video. Okay, so back again to the 6 traits of likability. The last part is how to make people like you more is through the principles of association. Alhamdulillah, last year I achieved my first $1 million round table, which means what? Which means I belong to the top 5% financial consultants in the world, right? And then I became the top 3 financial consultants in the whole of Singapore in NTUC income for investment-linked financial instruments. Of course, these investment-linked financial instruments, we do it the Sharia compliant way. To me, that is a huge boost. Alhamdulillah, thank you so much for all my clients for supporting this movement, for supporting me. Because why? Because all these will be the signs in the future that indeed there are demand for Sharia compliant financial instruments in Singapore. Some people ask me why, how come all the Sharia compliant instruments in Singapore like removed from the market. Last time HSBC they used to have takaful products. What happened to them? Close. And last time we used to have Sukuk, we used to have NTUC income Amanah Bond Fund. What happened to us? A few years back, close. Last time, there used to be a full-fledged Islamic bank. I'm not referring to like Maybank, where they have an Islamic window, and maybe like Al-Wadiyah savings account, and then after that, all the rest are non-Sharia compliant. I'm talking about a full-fledged, 100% Islamic bank. And we used to have Islamic Bank of Asia in Singapore. Yes, an Islamic bank in Singapore, but also closed down. To cut the story short, right? Because why? Because the what you call that? The people in charge felt at the point in time that Singapore lacked the critical mass of the population that wants Sharia compliant instruments. So now I'm trying my level best to build this principle of association to show as many people as possible that is indeed, although Singapore is a non-Muslim country, there are huge demand, burgeoning demand, growing demand for Sharia compliant financial instruments in Singapore. Make dua for me. and that inshallah that we will succeed to promote Islamic finance through the cooperative movement. Alright, okay, so that sums up lah. And for those of you who just tuned in, right, what I just shared earlier is that I shared 6 traits of likability by Robert Cialdini. Why you need to learn these 6 traits of likability? Because especially if you're in business, right, you want to attract your client, your prospects to become your clients, right? They must like you lah. Or even if you're an employee, you want your boss lah, to raise your pay, right? Or to at least keep you lah in the job, right? Your boss also need to like you. So just by understanding these 6 traits of likability by Robert Cialdini, inshallah, I dua that your business will prosper. I dua if you're an employee, you will go up the ranks and in your current company. And if you are self-employed individuals like me, I dua that inshallah, you'll be the top in your industry. Okay, so that's all. For those of you who benefit, right, from my sharing, what I want you to do, right, is that I want you to share. Share this video to all your friends, your families, your Facebook friends. Because why? Because the more you share, the more you'll gain. Alright? And at the same time, right, what I want you to also do is that if you like this kind of videos, right, what I want you to do is I want you to like my Facebook page, Helmi Hakim, and I want you to click the button see first. Because why? Because you know, when I create this kind of videos, right, the reach potential, right, is limited. So if you at least if you click like and see first, inshallah, when I do live, every time I do live videos, you will receive a notification. And yeah, this is what I'm also doing for all my other mentors, millionaires, right? I like their page and I follow see first. Because why? Because I don't want to miss any of the gems shared by them. Because why? Because out of the many gems, maybe one of it, if I pick up and I can make millions of dollars, I can be more successful in life. How much value will that bring to me? Alright? Okay, so that's all. Take care. Assalamualaikum. And maybe I'll just show you around. Just show you around of this beautiful place. And why I like to show around, right? Because some people ask me lah. How many of you have gone to Santorini before? I think not many lah. So that's why I find that it is a privilege lah. For me to share lah. Alhamdulillah, today I use a tripod lah on the table. Okay, let me just share you around. Let me turn this. Okay, that's our private balcony. So this is the hotel that I'm staying right now. If you want to know tips, know tips on how to get good hotels at super low rate, right? You can DM me lah. I can share with you the kind of strategies. Because like for me, I like somewhere that is private, especially when I do live videos. When I do live videos, there's the pool. And just now I dip in the pool, but it's super cold. Especially when I do live videos, I cannot, get distracted. Some of the hotels or the rooms, they have private pools. I think this is quite awesome. Okay, then I'll just like go up. There's my wife there. Just go up and now we'll see what breakfast we have right now. Okay, just slowly tune in. Okay, we are entering. This is my hotel. Oh, sorry. Okay, that's my hotel room lah. Alhamdulillah.